ask Him to allow us or to enable us to be thankful and grateful to all the blessings that He bestowed upon us. Allahumma ameen. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for finishing the first chapter or the first unit or the first unit. I mean, used to the school units and lesson plan and stuff. So the first manzila, the first station about al-yaqada, wakefulness. And now, as I mentioned, we're ready to move on to the next station, which is after we wake up, we go ahead and now we're ready to do at-tawbah. And subhanAllah, at-tawbah is a very unique station. Most of the scholars, when they classify their books, they will mention at-tawbah first. But Sheikh al-Harawi, he took a different approach and he started first with al-yaqada. And that's why many shuyukh, like nowadays, they consider him to be one of the greatest educators, murabbi, alim siluk, like the scholars specialize in behavior corrections and guidance. So what does the tawbah, the manzila, the tawbah, as the Sheikh always starts? His manzila, he starts it by ayah. The ayah that the Sheikh quotes here, قال الله عز وجل ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون. This is the ayah that he's using to bring our attention to the importance of at-tawbah. The ayah says, whoever does not repent is among the wrongdoers. Ibn al-Qayyim commenting in this ayah, he says, الناس قسمان إما تائب وإما ظالم. There is nothing in between. You are either doing tawbah or you are wrongdoers. There is nothing in between. And that's exactly what the Prophet ﷺ, Nabi ﷺ, the most perfect human being, ﷺ. And yet, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم والله إني لأستغفر الله وأتوب إليه في اليوم أكثر من 70 مرة. The Prophet says, by Allah, I ask Allah for forgiveness and I repent to Him every day more than 70 times. And the Sahaba رضوان الله عليهم, they used to say, كنا نعود لرسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في المجلس الواحد أكثر من 100 استغفار. The Sahaba says, in any gathering we're having with the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, we used to count at least 100 times he would be saying, Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayh. That's what we should be always doing at all the times. As soon as we finish the salah, that's what the Prophet ﷺ used to say. Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. At least say it a few times after you finish your salah. Because it is part of our ibadah that we're always doing tawbah, regardless whether we're committing sins or not. You're not going to wait and say, well, I haven't committed any sins today, or I have been doing good, I haven't done any major sins, or I don't remember any minor sins, so there is no need for me to ask for istighfar, to do tawbah. Everyone, the Prophet ﷺ, قَدْ غُفِرَ لَهُ مَا تَقَدَّمَ مِنْ ذَنْبِهِ وَمَا تَأَخَّرَ, yet he will do istighfar. All his sins are forgiven, yet he will always do istighfar. So this is the first ayah that the Sheikh mentions. Now the Sheikh has given us, before he tells us how to do tawbah, he's given us one more advice that I'm going to highlight on today. That advice, the Sheikh says, التوبة لا تصح إلا بعد معرفة الذنب وهي أن تنظر في الذنب إلى ثلاثة أشياء. He says, tawbah is not valid, or you're not going to do successful, beneficial, accepted tawbah unless you first do something. It's called معرفة الذنب. Know the process of committing sin. Know the state of your heart, the state of your mind, your thought process, and your inner feelings at the time you're committing sin. It is like knowing your status, your condition at the time you're committing a sin. He said, you need to first understand what is happening when you're committing a sin. It's like diagnosing the problem before you do the tawbah, so that the tawbah will be more effective. And we all know how many times we have had this intention. We listen to a good khutbah, a good talk, and we said, khalas, inshallah, I'm doing the good tawbah today that I will never go back to the sins I used to do. I will do the most sincere tawbah. And we go back. But here the Sheikh is trying to lead us to a tawbah that is very effective, and the tawbah that is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that will totally change our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to do this tawbah, that tawbatun nasuh lillahi azza wa jalla. What does the Sheikh say? He said the first thing that you need to know about your status, he says, انخلاعك من المعصية حين إتيانه. Know your abandonment of عصمة. Sorry, انخلاعك من العصمة حين إتيانه. Know your abandonment of عصمة when you are about to commit a sin. He didn't say that to commit a sin, just when you are about to commit a sin, attempting to commit a sin, know at this very moment you are abandoning عصمة. What is عصمة? The protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're all guided here Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us what? Isma. To be Muslimin. قال عز وجل ومن يعتصم بالله فقد هدي إلى صراط مستقيم. You're seeking isma, protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah gives it to you. We're here in the masjid today. We're guided. We're praying in Jama'ah because of ismatullah azza wa jal. When you are committing a sin, this isma, you have abandoned it. Khila'aka means you take it off. Like when you take your clothes off, that's called khila' or khal' al-malabis. So that is exactly what's happening. And even worse than this, it is not like you're abandoning it. The scholar says that probably it could also mean that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Removing it from you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala looks at us, looks at someone, and he says, this person is not eligible to take what? To keep the isma. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes it from that person. And when this isma is taken away from us, then we are helpless. Allah azza wa jal says, Ya ibadi kullukum dal illa man hadaytu fastahduni ahdikum. Allah says, all of you are misguided, all of you are lost, except the one that I will guide. With isma, the protection. And then Allah says, it is not like I give it to people based on my choice. Of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is on top of everything, but Allah is saying, we initiate something. Fastahduni, ask for forgiveness, so ask for guidance, and I'll give it to you. So always, when at the moment you're committing a sin, understand that you have abandoned isma that Allah has given you, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already abandoned you and has removed it from you. That is very serious. And if we don't have the isma from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are in a very, very serious situation. The second one, well, first, before I mention that, Imam Sufyan al-Thawri, he used to worry a lot about this. The Sahaba or his contemporary scholars will look at him and will find him crying all the time. And they used to tell him, like, you're a good man. Sufyan al-Thawri is equivalent to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal or even higher. Imam al-Shafi'i, he's like a very top scholar, but he didn't get much attention like the four madahib that we all know. And they used to look at him, they tell him, you are a pious man, righteous man, scholar. We have never seen you committing any sin. Why are you continuously crying? Are you worried about some sins that we don't know about? He says, he grabbed like a small stick and he said, "Dhunubi ahwan alayya min hada." My sins, I don't worry about my sins. It's like, it's trivial, just as insignificant as this stick. But he says, وَلَكِنْ أَخْشَى أَنْ أُسْلَبَ الْإِيمَانِ. But I'm fearful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take the iman from my heart, meaning the isma will be removed from me, then I will be misguided. This is the most serious thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take something from you, which is the hidayah, the isma that we all need. So it is very important to make sure that we are taking this isma from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second one, so this is the first thing that's happening to us. The second thing that's happening when we are committing a sin, the Sheikh says, وَفَرَحِكَ عِنْدَ الظَّفَرِ بِهَا. بِهِ أو بِهَا. The Sheikh says, your joy when you are able to attain what? The sin. So the moment you are sinning, when you attain it, you're happy. You feel the joy. And not everyone in the same category. The good believers, when they commit a sin, they will have this thing in their heart. They're not satisfied. They're not happy. They're not feeling the joy. But some people, they're just happy to insult someone, happy to backbite about someone, happy to just harm someone, happy to do any sin. And it gives them this good feeling and joy. The Sheikh says, if this is happening, there's something that needs to be fixed first. That needs to be taken care of. Farahak عند الظفر بها, to be that happy and joyful when you violate the sacred rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is a problem. And many people, unfortunately, when they are able to attain a sin, they feel accomplished. While it should be totally the opposite if our iman is at good level. And the third one, and the last one, the Sheikh says, وَقُعُودَكَ عَنِ الْإِصْرَارِ عَنْ تَدَارُكِهِ مَعَ يَقِينَكَ بِنَظَرِ الْحَقِّ إِلَيْكَ. The Sheikh says, your determined failure to desist and stop from sinning, even though you are certain that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what? Watching you. That is even worse. Because when we are committing a sin, it is one of two scenarios. Either you are completely neglecting of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you are not aware that He's watching you, or you don't believe that He's watching you. That is almost like leaving Islam. If you reach the point that Allah doesn't see me, I can hide somewhere and commit a sin, that is almost like leaving Islam, because every Muslim believes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Sami'ul Basirul Alim, He's watching over us all the time. But what is worse than this is that we know that He is watching us, yet we still dare to commit a sin and He's watching us. And that's what the Sheikh is saying, that at the time you're committing a sin, you are understanding and you're certain that Allah watches you, but yet you continue to commit the sin. And Ibrahim ibn Adham, I'll conclude by this, one of his friends came to him and told him, "Rakhis li fil dhanb," like, give me, like, I want to commit a sin. Is there any way that I can commit a sin? He told him, okay, guarantee to me 5 things and I will let you, and I will give you the permission, or I will say it is okay for you to commit a sin. He told him, first, make sure you don't eat for the entire day from the rizq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you're able to do this for the entire day, come to me at the end of the day and then we can talk about for you committing a sin. He comes to him end of the day and he says, I couldn't find anything to survive on for food except it is from rizq Allah Azza wa Jal. Then he told him, okay, then at least do not live in his land. Don't live in the land of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Find somewhere else to live. He says, he comes to him and tells him where else to go. Then he told him, like, find at least a place in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not see you. He comes back to him, there is no place in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't see me. He tells him, okay, when the angels of death come to you, the 4th one, when the angels of death come to you to take your soul, tell them I need some time. He said, there is no way I can do that. Told him, the 5th one, if you can guarantee it to me, I can let you do it. At least when the guards of the hellfire come to drag you in the day of judgment, to take you to your destination, if you are destined among the hellfire because you want to commit sins, tell them, I'm not coming with you. And he said, I can't do that. He said, if you cannot do any of this, then understand that you have to resist and you have to make sure that you are giving up any sin that you want to commit, because this is the first step to Tauba, that you are ready. You understand how the process of sinning and your mind and your inner feeling, and you're ready to move away from sinning. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who recognize and understand the risk of committing sins. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to do beneficial and accepted tawbah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to the best of deeds and best of morals. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa jazakumullah khair.